The worst part is, you've accepted yourself as a failure. You let others walk all over you. You stay silent when you're disrespected. You try to please everyone only to be taken for granted. You fear conflict, fear being disliked, fear standing up for yourself. And with each passing day, you shrink further into the background of your own life. But that can change. You don't have to live as a passive bystander. You can reclaim control, set boundaries, and demand the respect you deserve. In this video, I'll show you exactly why you're being pushed around, and more importantly, how to put an end to it starting today. Don't miss it. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and like if you're new here. It helps me keep bringing you more valuable content. If you don't set boundaries, others will set them for you. And trust me, they won't do it in a way that benefits you. Human nature is to test limits, to see how far one can push. If you allow someone to cross your boundaries once, they will do it again and again until you completely lose control. This applies to work, friendships, love, even family. The more lenient you are, the more you will be taken advantage of. The world is not designed to be fair to you. The strong are not always right, but they get what they want because they know how to protect their space. If you don't speak up when someone oversteps, you are telling them, "Go ahead, I won't resist." And they will keep going without hesitation. People are disrespected not because they are weak, but because they allow it to happen. If you let your boss exploit you, if you let your friends take advantage of you, if you let your partner disregard you, then the problem isn't them. It's you for not setting boundaries from the start. Life has no place for naivety. You cannot expect people to treat you well just because you are kind. You must set the standard and make others respect it. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being rude or aggressive. It means knowing your worth and refusing to accept anything less. You don't need to yell to make someone understand they've gone too far. You simply need to look them in the eye and say, "I don't accept this." Simple, clear, firm. No explanations, no apologies. If they don't respect your boundaries, remove them from your life. A life without boundaries is a life filled with bitterness. You will always feel trampled, used, and disregarded. You will always wonder why people don't treat you with the respect you deserve. But the real question you should be asking is, why do you allow it to continue? Don't expect anyone to save you. Don't wait for people to treat you well just because you wish they would. If you don't draw a clear line, you will be trapped in a cycle of frustration and disappointment. Remember, you alone are responsible for protecting your own worth. If you don't do it, no one else will. Have you ever felt exhausted from constantly trying to please everyone? Always watching your words, afraid of upsetting someone, striving to be the good person in everyone's eyes? If so, you're trapping yourself in a meaningless cycle. The truth is, you cannot please everyone, and you don't have to. Society has drilled a false idea into your head that if you're kind, agreeable, and always ready to help, people will like you. Completely wrong. When you try to please everyone, the only thing you earn is a lack of respect. You become a puppet, someone more concerned about others' opinions than your own. And the worst part? You lose your own identity. People will never stop demanding more. If you always say yes, they will expect it forever. They will take your kindness for granted, not as something valuable. One day, try saying no. You will immediately see who truly values you and who is just using you. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control other people's emotions, only your own. If someone is unhappy with you, that is their problem, not yours. You are not responsible for living up to someone else's expectations. Think simply, this is your life, not theirs. Look at successful people, those with real influence. They don't care about pleasing everyone. They have principles, they have standards, and they don't change themselves just to gain someone's approval. The more you try to please others, the more mediocre you become. The mediocre have no voice, no power, and no control over their own lives. So stop worrying about what others think. If you have a principle, stand by it. If you dislike something, speak up. If someone cannot accept your true self, let them go. It's better to be hated for being authentic than to be loved for being fake. You have two choices: continue living for others, forever anxious, forever submissive. Or stand up, live by your own standards, and let those who can't accept it disappear. Make your choice. We have the power to make a difference. Hit like on this video and share a positive comment to spread uplifting energy. Together, we're creating a compassionate and supportive community where kindness thrives, inspiring more people to live with purpose, strength, and positivity. How many times have you let someone cross your boundaries without fighting back? How many times have you felt frustrated, angry, but stayed silent just because you didn't want to make a big deal out of it? If the answer is too many, then you're suffering from one of the greatest weaknesses: fear of conflict. Society has drilled into your head that conflict is bad, that if you want a peaceful life, you must endure, that avoiding confrontation is the way to maintain relationships. But what's the truth? People who are afraid to face conflict are always the ones who get trampled. They are exploited by colleagues, disrespected by friends, and taken for granted by their partners. They live in a cycle of resentment, but lack the courage to demand what is rightfully theirs. Have you ever wondered why strong people, those with status and power, are never afraid of confrontation? It's simple. They understand that conflict is a natural part of life. If you're not willing to stand up for yourself, no one else will do it for you. If you don't speak up when treated unfairly, you are silently telling the world that you accept it. And guess what? The world will continue to walk all over you. Of course, standing up for yourself doesn't mean losing control or becoming aggressive. It means having the strength to say what needs to be said. When someone disrespects you, you don't need to yell or fight. You just need to look them in the eye and state clearly, "I won't accept this." When you're treated unfairly at work, be firm. "I believe I deserve a higher salary." When someone tries to take advantage of your kindness, be direct. "I can't help you this time." People who fear conflict always make excuses. "I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to be disliked." But ask yourself, does staying silent earn you respect? Does backing down make people treat you better? Not at all. People only respect you when they know you have standards, boundaries, and the courage to defend them. Next time someone tries to cross your limits, stand your ground. Don't be afraid of upsetting people. Don't be afraid of being disliked. Those who can't handle your strength are people who don't deserve a place in your life. There is a harsh truth that no one wants to admit. Most failures in life stem from not being able to control yourself. You lose your temper, let emotions dictate your actions, react impulsively instead of thinking rationally, and as a result, you push yourself into bad situations. The strongest people are not the loud ones who always need to prove themselves, but those who can control their thoughts, emotions, and actions in every situation. They do not allow others to provoke them, nor do they let fleeting emotions destroy what they have built. They do not let external circumstances dictate their lives. They act based on principles, not emotions. How many times have you been provoked by someone and reacted thoughtlessly, only to regret it later? How many times have you made decisions out of impulsive emotions, only to realize they were mistakes? How many times have fear, anxiety, or anger caused you to miss an opportunity? If you cannot control yourself, you will always be controlled by others and by your circumstances. Stoicism teaches that while you cannot control the world, you can control your reaction to it. If someone insults you, you have two choices. 1, lose your temper and fall into their trap, or 2, remain calm and strip them of their power over you. If you choose the first option, you lose. If you choose the second, you win. Not just in that situation, but in life. Self-control does not mean suppressing all emotions or becoming a cold, unfeeling machine. It means knowing when to act, when to stay silent, when to walk away, and when to fight. It means thinking before reacting, rather than letting emotions take control. Those with self-discipline are the winners in life. They do not give in to temptations, do not make foolish decisions based on fleeting emotions, and do not let fear stop them from moving forward. They are the masters of their own lives, while others remain mere victims of circumstance. So, from now on, ask yourself before taking action, Is this the response of someone who is in control of themselves? If the answer is no, stop. Learn to master yourself. Because if you don't, you will always be a puppet of life. Life is a game of power. Either you control it, or you let others control you. If you lack principles, boundaries, courage, and self-mastery, you will become a puppet in someone else's hands. Stoicism does not teach aggression, but it does teach strength. Strength does not mean being hostile. It means never letting others dictate the rules of the game for you. The weak live by others' conditions. The strong live by their own rules. You have two choices. Take charge of your life or let others dictate it for you. Ask yourself, do you want to be in the driver's seat or just a passenger? The decision is yours. But remember, if you don't write your own rules, someone else will do it for you. Thank you for watching. Support this amazing community by subscribing and turning on notifications now. Hit like and share your experience in the comments to spread positive energy today. Together, we can inspire and uplift each other on this journey.